John Hershey, Katie's new boyfriend, is weighing in on the Katie-Blake split and letting it be known that Katie did not cheat on Blake with him during their engagement. Hey guys, and welcome back to another shared news. We've got all you need to know on John Hershey speaking out about the Katie-Blake breakup. But before we get into it, make sure you guys are subscribed to our channel and ring the bell so you never miss out on any future Bachelor updates, because there truly is never enough Bachelor updates. It just keeps going and going, and when one person speaks, then the next person speaks. We got a lot to get into. As always, I am your host, Zachary Reality, and John Hershey, also known as Week 2 Guy, has something to say. John posted on Reddit of all places. Honestly, I don't go on Reddit, but the Bachelor Reddit is truly something else. I'm always hearing about it, and Reddit is the place where people can type things anonymously, and there's these Reddit subgroups, and I guess John just felt the need to tell his story on Reddit. Most people tell their stories or their side of stuff on Instagram. Some people share it to an article, maybe TikTok, Twitter, but John decided to go with Reddit. So here is what he said in his long paragraph. I'm gonna sum it up because it was like 4 pages that no one asked for. We only needed a page. But John says, Katie and I developed an incredible and deep friendship over the last half of year. The circumstances by which this friendship formed was a series of crazy, random, and coincidental events that I'm sure you will all hear about at a later time. My point for now is that we were always platonic. Even during my short stint on the season, we never had a chance to foster anything romantic. The boundaries of our friendship with respect to her ongoing relationship never even required addressing, because it was never a thought in our minds that we would ever be anything more. You guys, she was engaged. It was apparent that many of you misjudge how both her and I view that commitment. Neither Katie nor I would ever cheat, push somebody to cheat, or be involved in cheating. It is not our nature. It is not acceptable. It is not okay. On second thought, maybe this message deserves its own paragraph. There was no wrongdoing prior to the end of their engagement. So he's letting everyone know that he and Katie did not hook up while Katie was with Blake. Regardless of what everyone thinks, there has been a lot of speculation that Katie and John were a thing for quite some time, even when she was in a relationship with Blake, because Blake was living in another country. He was in Africa doing wildlife prevention and stuff like that. Well, John and Katie were hanging out all the time, posting stories together in San Diego. They live a lot closer. So a lot of us thought that maybe something more was going on. But of course, Katie was in this engagement with Blake, and once they broke it off, which they announced their breakup over a month ago on Instagram with mutual love and respect, it was only a matter of like 2 or 3 weeks when Katie announced that she had a relationship with John, and John even posted a awesome, cute TikTok and Instagram story of him kissing Katie and them sharing, an intimate moment together, and as well as Katie posting intimate videos of John at the end of her 12 days of messy, that they have been happy in a relationship. They're boyfriend and girlfriend, and they are dating. And I think a lot of us are confused with the timeline, and Blake Moynes, Katie's ex-fiance, is also confused with the timeline, as Blake recently went on the Talking It Out podcast with Mike and Brian Abasolo, where he was confused how the timeline happened, because Katie kind of did this 12 days of messy, which was 12 days. The 12 days of messy started, like 2 weeks, a week and a half after Katie and Blake's breakup. Katie probably knew, and this is what Blake said as well, that Katie probably knew she was going to pick John on day 1, because that is what the whole point of this was, to lead up to this revelation that John was her boyfriend at the end of the 12 days, which means that Katie got in a relationship with John probably days after she ended her engagement with Blake. I mean, in Katie's defense, I think that the Blake and Katie engagement probably ended sooner, and they both probably checked out of the relationship a lot sooner than they admitted online, because there's a contract. They have to pretend to be together until Michelle's season. They broke up week 2 of Michelle's season is when they announced their split publicly. But Blake did talk a lot about, their split, and kind of said that it was awkward from the start, that there was tension immediately. So they've probably been emotionally checked out of this relationship for months, but never were able to get out of it because of their contract. So Katie was probably 1 foot in and 1 foot out of the relationship. And it doesn't mean that she cheated on, Blake with John, but it definitely means that she was ready to move on with her life before they announced their breakup. So I don't want to be too hard on Katie. I don't want to hold it against her, but I definitely think that there was some connection being formed naturally and organically, as John said, while Blake and Katie were still engaged, but it was probably uncontrollable. But John makes it clear that there was no cheating, and I believe him. I don't think that John has anything to lie about. I also really liked how John threw some sense of humor at the end of his letter that he was looking forward to more SpongeBob memes because people compare him to SpongeBob, and that he referred to himself as week 2 guy, which is awesome and funny too. If you guys don't remember, John was eliminated week 2, and a lot of people are always asking me, they're like, why would Katie send John home like week 2? Well, maybe she sent him home because they truly did have a friendship first. And when you go on The Bachelorette, you're there to find your husband, you're there to get engaged, to fall in love. And since Katie and John formed an immediate friendship, and it was probably just a friendship, she had to send him home because she didn't see anything more with him. And then what happens with friendships is sometimes they turn into relationships with time out of nowhere. So that's what happens with Katie and John, and it probably made things a lot easier that he was living in San Diego, which is where Katie lives. John was also watching Katie's cat, Tommy, as Katie left town to go to Seattle to see Aunt Lindsay and her new niece during Thanksgiving weekend. So I think Katie and John are in a good spot. They definitely seem like they have a good relationship. Blake is definitely butthurt by the situation, as someone should be. You know, Blake has every right to be upset to see his fiance moved on so quickly, and John has every right to share his side of the story because it definitely looked one way at John being the other guy, you know, during this whole breakup and situation. And Katie did share her journey with the 12 Days of Messy, which was her series where she tied up a Taylor Swift song with every single guy from her season and just kind of paid tribute to that. I think Katie might have more to say in regards to her relationship with John, which I'm sure she will do at a later point. But as of now, John is the one speaking on behalf of Katie and himself that there was no cheating in this engagement. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Are you happy for Katie and John? Do you believe John? Do you believe Katie? Are you team Blake? There is a lot to unpack here. This breakup was messy. It was a lot messier than Tayshia and Zach's breakup, which happened a couple weeks ago too, which most of us forgot about. So I do want to take a moment to just like pray for Zach and Tayshia, because I was very upset about that, and we didn't have time to mourn that because there was so much Bachelor drama with Katie and Blake and Hannah and Peter, and it's just like, let's just pour one out for Tayshia and Zach, okay? Do we think that Katie and John are going to last for the long haul? I mean, I think it's a pretty bold move for them to put out their relationship so soon after Katie ended her engagement with Blake. But I also think at the same time that, you know, you don't want to hide a relationship. She was just on The Bachelor where she had to hide her engagement for a few months. She doesn't want to live in secrecy again with John. She'd rather be out and loud, especially if they're hanging out all the time. So I definitely think that they are committed to each other in order for them to broadcast their relationship to all of Bachelor Nation. And I do think they're going to last. I want them to last because I really do believe that they are a good match. John was actually my top 4. Before the season even started, we did our predictions here at Shared News, and I put John in my top 4 for Katie. So I really did see a connection between them, and I study Bachelor Nation, so I know what I'm talking about, or at least I like to think I do. So I'm not surprised that they formed this connection, and I really do think that it's natural and it was organic, and sometimes the best relationships start off as friendships. So I have high hopes for Katie and John. Will they get married, have babies, buy a house together? I don't know, but I definitely think they're gonna give it a good shot at their relationship. I don't think they're gonna break up in a week or 6 months. They will definitely last longer than Katie and Blake. I mean, if they're breaking up, at least it'll be over a year. I think they'll be together, so they give it a good shot. And I hope that they make it down the aisle and do all that fun stuff, because I really like them together, and I think they have a funny energy. And even watching their stories as friends for the past couple of months, like, you could tell that they were just like enjoying each other's company and just having fun. So I'm gonna put my money on the fact that they will last. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and before you go, make sure you guys are subscribed to our channel and ring the bell so you never miss out on any Bachelor updates. As always, I am your host, Zachary Reality. You guys can follow me down below at Zachary Reality. Come talk all things Bachelor Nation with me on Instagram, on TikTok. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will catch you in the next one. Bye!